on in, take off your shoes, sit down, have a drink or a smoke, cure what ails ya. Welcome to Villainous Cinema, the YouTube series, where we do movie breakdowns and rumors and forecasts for every single month what's coming out in the theaters. Once again, we are joined by the dulcet tones of Pepe.
I thought it was Nick. No.
Oh yeah. But anyway.
And also Nikki from Costa Rica, but you call him Nicholas Valdez, and you put some respect on that when you say it to him.
Hi guys.
Once again, we are a listener-supported podcast supported by people just like you. If you want to support Villainous Cinema, visit us at villainouscinema.com and smash that donate button, or pledge to our Patreon account at patreon.com/villainouscinema. If you want to help us out non-monetarily, though, follow us on Instagram at Evan Landon. Villainous Cinema thing. Wait, no, it is Villainous Cinema. Villainous Cinema, whatever, you'll find it. And also like us on Facebook at Villainous Cinema, or follow me on Twitter at Evan Landon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know, like that's more important than seeing us talk about these. Or email us at Villainous Cinema. And as always, attention, Nikki, for all hate mail. And now that we got that out of the way, what are you guys up to? Pepe.
Well, it's October. Is one of your favorite months. I think I see a trend on where we are going to be moving on. Nonetheless, I'm excited to see what movies we are going to be talking about because it's prior to this show, our master class was given by Nick, and I have 3 movies to watch. So I hope I can get some good advice from you, Evan, which not always happens.
This is usually my time to shine. So. Nikki, what do you got? What have you been doing?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling, and I'm stoked, and we're gonna start our show. And
I'm on a new kombucha diet too, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm drinking nothing but kombucha for the rest of the month.
Good luck with that.
There you go. They're mushrooms, but not the good kind. Well, they're good. I mean, like we have a symbiotic relationship with mushrooms as human beings. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So I guess what we're going to do today, because I'm so fucking happy about this. By the way, it's insane. All right. So October, right? Like I love this month so much because it's nothing like any other month. I mean, the fall weather comes in, not usually in Florida, but like fall weather comes in, everyone's going back to school, everyone's kind of just like doing their own thing, in which case that is really awesome. What I also love is the fact that Halloween, like it's the only holiday that I completely respect. You know, yeah, 4th of July, got the first of the year. I don't even know how that happened, but it's like everyone, like all the kids come out and they're like, oh, we're gonna wear all these fucking weird costumes and shit. In which case, I'm like all for it because I wear weird costumes to this day. And it's like 40 years later, I'm like, yeah. So there are a ton of horror movies, and yeah, I am a little twisted. In which case, horror movies are really the way that I go. I watch them yearly. Well, every day during the year. So we're going to go over those very quickly. All the movies that are coming out this month, which are mostly horror movies, right? But I guess let's go through the rumors first. You know, rumors and forecasts, right?
That's what you call this show,
right?
I mean,
so. My favorite comedian of all time, Norm MacDonald. He passed away last month, a couple weeks ago. And did you guys ever watch anything from him or no?
What?
No?
Who?
Norm Macdonald.
He was he was the Weekend Update guy on SNL, Saturday Night Live.
Who's that dude? The fucking dude who was in all those Addams Family movies. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'd say like during
Okay.
like essentially what had happened was he lived for 9 years with cancer and didn't tell a single person, which is wild, because like anyone that has that sort of acclaim or has been on a pedestal in some way, it's like, well, I need to tell everybody I'm alien. He never did, like for a decade.
You could tell whenever I did follow his career. I loved him on SNL and the news update, obviously. He he looked different. His body looked different at times, like very slim, and then very bloated. And he gained weight and then lose the hair. He looked really odd at times in the latest presentations. One thing I do remember, it's from all of the stand-up comedians that Letterman had. He had him on his last show and said, "Just you were the one," and it was important. His delivery, that it was very sharp and incisive. I'm not sure if he was cut for nowadays, because he was raw on many of the takes that he had, which made him Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, and that was one of the other things too, is that Ma and I were going to oh, that's Julia. She might be on the next show, but I don't know. She's calling me now. I don't know. Oh, surprise. Anyways, surprise, guys. No, not this one. But no, so Ma and I were driving back, and she was like, "Oh, you sound like Norm Macdonald." Blah blah. And I'm like, "Do I?" I don't think it's like. I mean, I'd have to do one of his jokes, like an homage. Like I would say, like the best joke that he did was like where he. Yeah, I'll do that for another time. But yeah, no, he was insanely good. He was like, ah, my wife and I. She's a real battle axe, and we're driving by this field, and it's got a bunch of cows in it. And I said, yeah, remind you of any of your relatives? And she was like, yeah, my in-laws. And I was like, you dirty dog.
Yeah.
That is a good one. Anyways, all right. So another one is well, turns out Elvira, is the Mistress of the Dark, is a lesbian. She has been for the past 19 years, maybe before that. She apparently like came out this year when it became like this thing where it's like, you know what, fuck it. I've been in this relationship with a woman for the past 19 years, and really seriously, you gotta love this girl though. Like Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, right? She's got her own movie, which is terrible, by the way. I've seen it like a few times. But Elvira, she's like this. She'll go out there and tell you about a movie, but showing her tits, like being the most like she's like a fembot at this point, right? And she's like, I got the goth thing going on, I'm good, right? But she's into girls too, which is perfectly okay. Thoughts?
Gotta be honest, I've seen her twice without all of the hairdo, makeup, etc. I don't know it's her. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
good for
it's all
her.
makeup.
Love has no
Oh yeah,
shades, shapes, colors, and whatever we did to her movies when we were kids and enjoy them. So good for her.
Nikki.
You know,
Nikki shrugged.
typical news. Like,
I love talking to Nikki about these things. Like he has absolutely no clue.
care-
He's like,
I care a
oh,
little.
all those fucking drive-in movies that you watch all the time.
I mean, like, it's whatever. Like, and that's typical news nowadays.
Right on.
So, like, Okay.
Yeah. No, you're good. All right. So moving on from that, Al Snow, professional wrestler, saved a child from the ocean and made it out alive. And he seems pretty cool for that. Also, AJ Johnson, the comedic actor that was in Friday and a lot of other things. He was he's the one that's like, Smokey, you out there taking a shit? No, that's that guy. He died. Poor age of shit. It was 15. It was very very young. Very. Some movies that are coming out. What do you guys think?
Let's go.
All right. Here we go. October 2021, the year of our Lord. And, the movie Fauci is coming out.
What?
And,
Based on the character?
no, it's to be announced. Yeah, so Fauci. Story about Fauci. It's a documentary.
Damn.
With his signature blend, it's PG-13 though, so I mean it's not for everybody. So with his signature blend of scientific acumen, candor, and integrity, Dr. Anthony Fauci became America's most unlikely cultural icon during COVID-19. A world-renowned infectious disease specialist and the longest-serving public health leader in Washington, D.C., he has valiantly, valiantly, how do you say that? Anyways,
Valiantly.
Valiant.
Valor? Valor?
Yeah, valiantly.
Valor?
Overseeing the U.S. response to 50 years worth of epidemics, including HIV/AIDS, SARS, and Ebola. Fauci is an unprecedented portrait of one of our most vital public servants, whose work saved millions, whilst he faced threats from anonymous adversaries.
Egotistical movie, perhaps?
It might be. I think
National
it's,
Geographic is behind it. And
is it
I
produced by
think it got, yeah, it says National Geographic documentary film.
produced by Fauci himself, I'm sure.
Exactly.
All right,
Directed by,
let's move
written
on to
by.
Friday, October 1st, and this is the day that we're putting this up. The Addams Family 2, which I thought was already out. Apparently, they're doing a second Addams Family 2.
No, this is the not cartoon. It's the yeah, computer animated.
Yeah, CGI one.
Yeah.
Like the Pixar. Sort of. Not the one with Christina Ricci and Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Anyways, everyone's favorite spooky family is back in the new animated comedy sequel to Addams Family 2. Wait, what? In this new movie, the Addams get tangled up in wacky adventures and find themselves involved in hilarious run-ins with all sorts of unsuspecting characters. Always staying true to themselves, the Addams Family bring their iconic spookiness and kookiness wherever they go. Got Chloe Grace Moretz, Oscar Isaac, Charlize Theron, Bette Midler's in there, Bill Hader. So
Nick Kroll, Snoop Dogg,
holy hell, there's a lot of people in that one.
Bill Hader. I mean, it has some. There's a budget to get some voice actors or actors doing voiceovers.
Right? I mean, I gotta lie. I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it. That's up to you guys, though. What do you think, Nick?
Oh no! I mean, it's got a good cast there. Like I will have to say, but I think it's gonna suck.
One that I'm not watching.
Why do you always say like all these animated things are gonna suck? You always say that.
Like I mean, it's
like every animated movie, you're like it's gonna suck.
But it's bad to recycle ideas.
Not like Fritz the Cat or like Heavy Metal or Fire and Ice, where I'm like, oh, you gotta see this. Like you're like, well, it's just an animated movie.
I mean, the idea of a good movie is that it's new, it's fresh, it's a new take on something, you know. recycled ideas defy that factor. Like it automatically.
Would it help? Would it help if the fact that it's made from like the original comic strip from like 100 years ago, and like the characters actually look like it?
Mm,
No, it
no.
doesn't really make all that much of a difference. Like,
I mean, if you pump some Katy Perry behind it.
because all the other adaptations were based off of the original comic, also.
I don't know, that new Addams Family theme that they put in the trailer. Man, that thing bops.
All I'm saying is that like recycled ideas are probably not the best ideas.
Remember when MC Hammer did it? It was like amazing. I don't know. But yeah. Let's just say Addams Family 2 reigning. All right. So
Two and
the
out.
Mini Saints of New York.
What?
The Mini Saints of New York. What do you think about this one? This one is a Sopranos story.
Did you know that the lead actor, the protagonist in this film, is actually James Gandolfini's son?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
I found that out the other day. That's cool as shit.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Michael Gandolfini. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool.
And Ray Liotta, it's
John
supposed to
Barenthal
be
in it too. Yeah.
Ray Liotta is supposed to be James Gandolfini's father in that. So it's
This is interesting. I didn't even know that.
I think it'll be a cool watch. I enjoyed the Sopranos series. It might be good. It might be bad. Oh, I watched the card counter the other day. It sucked really bad.
It sucked bad.
Like so fucking awful.
That was the one that we were. That's one that we were saying. Do you know what was awesome though? Malignant. Malignant was really good. Only because like, man, that shit was fucking wild. Like it's like you wouldn't even know. But you don't watch these sort of movies, Nick. Nicky, you hate these movies.
I don't watch movies just because they're gonna like wow, you know. Just
this
because
one was like it was like it's like Basket Case meets Evil Dead. A weird movie.
Yeah, but was
moving on. So Mini States of Newark. You got a young Anthony Soprano. Soprano is growing up in one of the most tumultuous eras in Newark's history, becoming a man just as rival gangsters begin to rise up and challenge the all-powerful DiMeo crime family's hold over the increasingly race-torn city. Caught up in the changing times is the uncle he idolizes, Dickie Moltizzani, who struggles to manage both his professional and personal responsibilities, and whose influence over his nephew will help make the impressionable teenager into an all-powerful mob boss we'll later know to come, Tony Soprano.
Kids, sit around, get cozy. It's a story time with Uncle Evan.
That is
really I think this is gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'll watch it too. This is something that I'll watch, and
I
like
wasn't a big fan of the Sopranos, so
I like the cast. Vera Farmiga. It's cool that we have Michael Gandolfini doing his father role. Ray Liotta, obviously. Joey Diaz, being Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
So.
Can't go wrong. Like, it's gonna be cool.
Because like I know absolutely fucking nothing about The Sopranos. I never watched it, right? I mean, like, well, not absolutely nothing, but like I know the story and everything and how it goes. It's like mob, you know. I know a lot of the actors and shit that happen in it, but I wasn't an active watcher. So now this is like kind of like I'll watch this movie and maybe go back and watch the series.
Like I'm not big on series, but Sopranos was one of those that like just like fucking locked me in. Like it's good. It's really good. Okay, and James Gandolfini's role in it is iconic as fuck.
So next one we're moving on to is a movie called Old Henry. This one stars Tim Blake Nelson and Stephen Dorff. But Potsie Pink is the really the one at the top of the bill. So this one's getting a lot of acclaim, by the way.
I really
This
like
might be-
Tim Blake on Nelson.
Yeah, a widowed father must decide whom to trust. They spelled that wrong, but whatever. An injured stranger with a stash of cash, or the gang coming for him, claiming to be lawmen. So it's gonna be a period picture, I think, like a
No.
western.
Like I've seen Tim Blake Nelson in several things. I've seen him in things that he's directed himself, like Leaves of Grass, and then I saw him in that Coen Brothers movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, he was great in
Remember
that.
he played the frog
He
dude?
was also great in Green Lantern, I think.
The Ballad of Buster Douglas as well, in one of those
Oh my God,
skits.
Buster Douglas. Yeah, that was the one that was James Franco's like last movie too.
Buster Scruggs, not Buster
Buster
I
Douglas.
haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's-
seen
Buster
that,
Scruggs
but I
dies
have.
at-
It's interesting. It's like short clips in between made an entire movie, but it's good, and he's
It's
in
a-
there as well.
It's a wild movie.
Well, anyway.
Anyways, so there's another one that's coming out. This one stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Ethan Hawke, and this is called The Guilty. This comes out on the same day, and
What, The
it's
Guilty?
a tense. Yeah, it's called a tense thriller set over the course of a single morning in a 911 dispatch call center, as call operator Jake Gyllenhaal
Oh, I watched that the other day.
a caller in a grave danger, but soon discovers that nothing is as it seems.
Wait, how did I watch that?
The Guilty? Did you?
Yeah.
You saw it?
I saw it.
It's on Netflix, accordingly.
No, I mean, I don't know. I hacked it. I hacked the system. I downloaded the
You want to say hi? Mom, say.
and I fucking watched it at home illegally.
Don't.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Let's just remind, we're
Legend.
not encouraging any of our
I'm a
viewers.
pirate.
Go out and pay AMC more money because I have stock in it.
Yikes!
I watched the pirated copy. Oh, and it sucked.
No, it didn't.
Yes, the movie sucked.
You didn't.
I
Anyways,
watched.
all right, moving on
Well,
to the witch
Can
hunt.
can we just say that
Does
is
segue?
Is Jake Gyllenhaal getting all the close-ups to his beautiful eyes? If it's
Oh god.
The performance is good.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
saying that, but okay. And this is a remake of I heard a previous Danish movie. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, and the Danish movie, and it didn't come out too long ago. But this film, just the storytelling was not there. It was boring.
Anyway, so this movie called Witch Hunt, right? This I just want to like get this one out here because I'm actually gonna watch this very 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 soon. This is what I want to see. It's what I want to see. Right. Whatever. In a modern America, it's rated R, by the way. So, you know, all these movies are rated R. It's Halloween shit, dude. It's a month of Halloween. So, Witch Hunt, rated R. In a modern America, where magic is real and witches are persecuted by U.S. authorities, teenage Claire and her family are part of an intricate network that helps these women escape across the border to seek asylum in Mexico. Pepe, looking at you. However, when their mode of transport is disrupted by federal witch hunters, trouble befalls the family as they struggle to hide two young witches within the walls of their home. As witch hunters close in and strange magic begins haunting the family, Claire discovers that she may be have more in common with the witches than she ever could have imagined.
teenagers Witches. Mexico
All right.
has everything I want to see. Not.
Are you? Did you just like face palm?
It's gonna suck.
Sounds terrible, man.
That sounds awful.
I am going to propose to build a wall so we don't, well, never mind. So we don't have any witches coming down here.
All these
Dude,
witches gotta
it's
go.
it's terrible.
No, this is a bad idea. This is gonna be a bad picture. You
Now-
should watch Guilty instead, even though I told you it sucks.
Just
Yeah.
imagine.
Because you'll save time. At
Wait,
least
hold
it
on. That's
sucks
counterintuitive.
in this
Is it-
one.
Is it a coming of age with witches? One finding
Even though I told
herself that it's knowing. I don't know.
Nah.
It's just riding on the wave that it's October and it's talking about witches, but meh.
Nah.
It's like those vampire coming of age films.
All right, let's do this one. This one's not rated, for whatever reason. It's called Stop and Go, and it's sisters Blake and Jamie's big plans for the year come to a screeching halt when they are forced to rescue their grandmother and her beloved dog from her nursing home before their reckless sister can get there first. They embark on a hilarious cross-country race against time while contending with a deranged dog breeder, a highly inappropriate 9-year-old, and a clueless Romeo, all in the name of family. And it stars Whitney Cobb, Mallory Everton, Stephen Meek, Julie Jolie, and so there's that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
nothing.
I only have two of the ones that you have recommended are on my list. None of the others, man.
So there's another one called The Jesus Music. This is a drama story about faith, in which case, you can probably get that from the title. It's a story of national spiritual awakening in the early 1970s and a community of teenage hippies in California. And, so there's that. There's another one called Mayday. Now, Mayday is not rated either, and it's a lot. I think it's probably because this is I think it's international. But Anna finds herself transported to a dreamlike and dangerous coastline. Once there, she joins a female army engaged in a never-ending war where the women lure men to their deaths with radio signals, like 20th century sirens. Though Anna finds strength in this exhilarating world, she comes to realize she's not the killer that she was meant to be. That's... Anyone?
I don't
No idea what you just described.
I don't know how this can be good.
These are all gonna be classics.
But if it is
I'm gonna
good,
tell you one thing. I'm gonna be like, you ever watch Mayday?
Just
You're gonna be like, no.
just one thing. Juliette Lewis is in this movie. Why?
Oh. So automatically classic. Yeah.
Why?
I mean, what else? What else could you possibly get?
I don't know. I will have to give this one time.
It's going to age well.
Like,
Fantasy mystery. Yeah.
let's-
Now, the next one, I think you're going to like a lot. It's called Bingo Hell. Now, this is the first of the Welcome to Blumhouse series. Blumhouse, did a shitload of all the, horror movies, in which case, Blumhouse is like a thing. So, Welcome to Blumhouse, they're going to be releasing a lot of these, and I'll tell you which ones. This one's the first one. It's called Bingo Hell. So it's after 60-something neighborhood, so it's like one of those adult living places. Not the adult living that you think, but whatever. So like after 60-something neighborhood activist Lupita discovers that her beloved local bingo hall has been taken over by a mysterious businessman named Mr. Big. Oh no! I always thought that that band would do so much more. Anyways, she rallies her elderly friends to fight back against the enigmatic entrepreneur. But when her longtime neighbors begin turning up dead under grisly circumstances, Lupita suddenly discovers that gentrification is the least of her problems. Something terrifying has made itself at home in the quiet borough of Oak Springs, and with each new cry of bingo, another victim falls prey to the diabolic presence. As the cash prizes increase and the body count steadily rises, Lupita must face all the frightening realization that this game is a truly winner takes all.
Okay, moving on.
Just want to point out something. The
It's like,
the director from this movie, it's a Mexican-born director. She's now living in Canada. She's known as the Muñeca Diabólica, I think, is the evil doll or something, because she specialized in this types of movies. That's why all of the Latin thing in there, but I didn't know that she was working on this, and it sounds weird, to say the least.
Yeah.
The other only thing that I could point out is Richard Brake, that he's from the
I am a huge Richard Brake fan.
he's from the Watchmen movie.
Tremors 7. Ugh.
So he's good, but that's all I can say about the movie.
What I can say is that, like, I would have to at least minimum see like some trailers of these things to see if they're like worth even getting into.
Oh, you can't find trailers of these ones. I'm gonna go ahead and like skip ahead real quick. This one's a not rated one. I think that this is actually pretty good because I know that what the director was. It's called Falling for Figaro. Falling for Figaro. Sorry.
Figaro.
Figaro. Right. Falling for Figaro. Millie is a brilliant young fund manager who leaves her unfulfilling job and long-term boyfriend to chase her lifelong dream of becoming an opera singer. In the Scottish Highlands, she begins intense vocal training lessons with renowned but fearsome singing teacher and former opera diva Megan Jeffrey Bishop. If it is there, she meets Max, another one of Megan's students, who is also training for the upcoming Singer of Renown contest. What begins as a brutal competition between Millie and Max slowly turns into something more. ... So, Falling for Fargo.
Figaro.
This is supposed to be like a big thing. I mean, it could be terrible.
What? Why does it say that it's 2020 on the movie on IMDb? Falling for Figaro.
Oh, it is. It's already 100%. Holy hell, that's fucking great. It hasn't even come out yet.
Don't know.
Look at that, Rotten Tomatoes, 100% score. No one's even seen it. Let's just talk more shit about those assholes. Man, like, come on, man. All that shit's bought and paid for. You know that. Nikki, you know about my grievance between these people, right?
Anyway.
I agree. Next.
All right.
Next.
All right. This one's called Coming Home in the Dark, right? A family's idyllic outing at an isolated coastline descends into terror when high school teacher Alan Hoogerin and his wife Jill and stepsons Micah and Jordan unexpectedly come across a pair of murderous drifters. An enigmatic psychopath, Mandrake, and his hulking man-child, accomplice, Tubbs, who thrust them into a nightmare road trip. That sense. Whatever. At first, the family's terror seems to be born at a random encounter with two sociopaths. But as the night drags on, Hoagie and Jill realize that this nightmare was set in motion 20 years earlier. And as they approach their mysterious final destination, Mandrake reveals the horrible secret driving his actions. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you guys listening to anything?
Yes, I am, but I'm reactionless. What can I tell?
What
like
can you
nothing that
say
you like.
about this one?
All right, I want Nikki to take over for just a second. Nikki, what do you think about any of these movies?
This is probably gonna suck, but
It has a pretty poster. That's all I can say.
yeah,
I've seen the poster. Good picture.
Like it's there, like it's a movie, right?
yeah. I mean, who's casted in this movie?
Daniel Giles and James Ashford.
Giles, Eric Thompson,
Mike Minogue,
Mariama McDowell.
Cool. A lot of people I've never heard of.
It's a New Zealand movie, I think.
Like,
well,
so,
it's not a Welcome to Blumhouse movie. In which case, this next one is. It's called Black as Night.
Black as Night.
Yeah, this is Welcome to Blumhouse. They're going to be putting out about 5 of these. In which case, say 15 years after Hurricane Katrina ravaged New Orleans, a new threat leaves its mark on the Big Easy in the form of puncture wounds on the throats of the city's vulnerable, displaced population. Probably vampire movie. When her drug-addicted mom becomes the latest victim of the undead, 15-year-old Shauna vows to even the score. Along with 3 trusted friends, Shauna hatches a bold plan to infiltrate the vampire's mansion husband. In the historic French Quarter, destroy their leader, and turn his famous soldiers back into human form. But killing monsters is no easy task, as soon Shauna and her crew find themselves caught in a century-old conflict between warring vampire factions, each fighting to claim Nolans as their permanent home.
Wow. Okay. Next, this is a action horror, whatever.
Vampire movie.
Yeah, cheap. Let's move on.
What would be the perfect vampire movie though? Besides Lost Boys.
Nosferatu.
Awesome.
Yeah. Leave it as is. Like, fucking move on. Like, I mean, the thing is that, like, kids aren't even scared of that shit anymore.
What is the thing?
Kids aren't even scared of it anymore. So what's the point?
What, vampires?
Yeah.
You don't think kids are afraid of vampires?
No.
Hey, Keith David is in it. I like his voice as the president in Rick and Morty.
He was also in the greatest movie of all time, The Thing.
All I'm saying is that no.
Quite possibly the alien.
Is that, like, fear has changed, like, over, like, generations, and, like, people who watch films are not scared of the same things that they used to be.
I don't know why there's a trend of either old ladies grouping over and this is youngsters, and the other ones were witches that are also teenagers. Is like, do we see a trend on a cheap movie making?
Maybe. But let's move on to the next weekend, if we can. This is coming out October 8th, 2021. This is a movie that is supposed to end all of the James Bond movies. It's called No Time to Die. And in No Time to Die, Bond has left active service and is enjoying a tranquil life in Jamaica. His peace is short-lived when his old friend Felix Leiter from CIA turns up asking for help. The mission to rescue a kidnapped scientist turns out to be far more treacherous than expected, leading Bond onto a trail of a mysterious villain armed with a dangerous new technology. So that's the new James Bond film. This is supposed to be the end of Daniel Craig's tenure. Right?
This is
Yeah.
his farewell.
Hey, like I mean, for me, I like the
Didn't
Bond
Felix
movie.
Leiter die in that one movie with the shark? Venom?
Huh?
No, it's like a Timothy Dalton movie, right?
Well, I don't know. Like Timothy Dalton movie,
I have a theory about
Bonds were shitty,
I have a theory about this though.
but
So Felix Leiter shows up, and when he was bitten in half by a shark in not the Living Daylights, but the one after that with Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton really good too. And in which case, like in this one, like Felix Leiter shows up. In which case, James Bond and Felix Leiter are just they're they're just names for people that like it's like you can take up the mantle, but you also have to have this alias. In which case, you get Roger Moore, Sean Connery, George Lazenby, all these people, right? So like you're thinking to yourself like, oh well, how do we have all these bonds throughout all this thing? It's like, well, he just lets people know when they need to know whom he is, right? And then in which case, like when these things happen, they're like, oh shit, like we're in peril. So like he would antagonize these villains. Very, very strange thing. In which case, I think that this one is like going to be him kind of signifying the Reddit posts and everything else that everyone thought, where James Bond wasn't just one guy. Like he was always a secret agent, in which case James Bond wasn't his real name. In which case you can actually get back down. I don't know.
James Bond was like a code name.
007. That was his insignia, right?
Like 007, the code name James Bond, like kind of to a certain extent, like I mean, he's always come. Like the thing is that you get like this. These are the only type of movies for me that like should have sequels, okay? Because each one, like, it doesn't matter really the last one, okay? Like they play on themselves. They are their own entities unto themselves. Like the sequels don't matter. So, and I've watched every single one of the Bond movies personally. Okay. Like I had a friend back in high school that was like a massive Bond fan. Okay, and my favorites are like, From Russia with Love, like, and stuff like that, like the classic Connery ones. But
like even you had like
Craig's
Blofeld in
done
there, and
an
Christoph
okay
Waltz
job.
back in as Blofeld was awesome.
He's done an okay job. I like him. I like Pierce Brosnan in the countdown of the Bonds. Okay, but they've changed lines. But they're not exactly meant to be the same person. I don't think.
I
Yeah,
have to
well,
be I
that's
have to be honest. From all of the Bonds that I've seen, my favorite is in fact these Bond. I mean, if we, I like Daniel Craig. He makes it more human, more believable than the rest. But still,
yeah,
once
that's
again,
like
it's a
it's
super
kind of like
agent type of.
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like the Born Identity after a while.
No, but I'm kind of excited about this one. You got Carrie. What's his name? What's the director's name?
Fuku
Something. He's Japanese, isn't he?
Gary Joji Fukunaga. Now I
Yeah.
read it.
God,
Anyway,
nailed it.
he did like the first season of True Detective. I loved that. He did No Beast for Men or something. I love that film with Idris Elba. He's done some really interesting films. Then I'm a big fan of Rami Malek, who's playing the Bond villain in this one. I think that was a really cool choice. So, I'm excited to see it. We'll see how this one comes out.
Well, this is his swan song, in which case Daniel Craig will not be a part of the next ones, apparently. And they have two other choices, believe it or not. They're going to either go the Doctor Who way and make Bond a woman, or Black Man, Idris Elba, in which case I'm totally for Idris Elba taking over. But, I mean...
Isn't he too old now?
No. Think about it this way.
Daniel Craig getting stunts.
Bond always came out of retirement. He was always meant to be an older man.
Yeah. Debonair.
Okay?
But, like,
So
when
people misinterpret this saying, oh, this person's too old. Bond was always old. Okay?
I agree with the storyline, but thinking on the actor being Daniel Craig's 53, Idris is 49, how often you'd film, it might be like 1 or 2 movies only?
Could be.
Possibly. He could be a Dalton.
Could be.
All right. Well, let's move on off of James Bond for a minute. This is a movie that I've seen a lot of trailers for, and it's called Lamb. Lamb, as in like lamb shanks, lamb chops. Right, it's just lamb. Okay. So this is considered to be one of the. It's one of a lot of awards already, and it hasn't even come out. So Lamb is a childless couple in rural Iceland, making an alarming discovery one day in their sheep barn. They soon face consequences of defying the will of nature. Case, I've seen some of the anthropomorphic pictures of the man lamb. And, it's quite disturbing. I will watch this movie. Only because, like, I feel like I got it, right? Yeah, it's gonna be really weird. Next one is The Gig Is Up. Now, this is not rated. Technology-laced documentary uncovers the real costs of platform economy through the lives of workers and around the world from companies including Uber, Amazon, and Deliveroo. Okay, so I think that might be
taking on the big ones.
It sounds kind of interesting, but the title really sucks.
Nikki said that it's like he wants to talk about more documentaries, and I was like,
I like documentaries. I watch documentaries a lot personally.
This is the topic is interesting. I want to see how they address it, because now there's a lot of ethics involved in app developer minds and how we are using all of the eyes on it. We'll see how they approach it. If they do it on a pink world type of thing, or they do the nitty gritty and ugly things about what they're trying to lure people into.
Yeah. So it depends. We'll see.
Could be good.
I don't like the name of it.
Well, hello. Wait. Yeah.
Super cheesy.
Okay, so there's a movie called American Insurrection. It's got knowing that it's rated R. It's after a powerful militia seizes control of the U.S., a group of friends attempt to escape the escalating violence and oppression. They must then move undetected, as their only hope is to cross a heavily guarded border. But as the militia closes in, the friends will need to do whatever it takes to survive in the suspenseful action.
This is gonna suck.
Can you
I
show this?
like I like the IMDb
Like kind of like.
description that is more interesting. It says set in a dystopian America where all people who aren't straight, white, Christian, and cisgender are kept track of by the government with barcodes. At least that's you got my attention. I'm not sure how it's approached, but
Yeah. All right, so this one's the next Welcome to Blumhouse one. This is called The Manor. Not rated yet. So, when a sudden stroke diminishes her ability to care for herself, 70-year-old Judith Albright, Barbara Hershey, moves to Golden Sun Manor, an assisted living facility with a sterling reputation. But despite her best efforts of the staff and a budding friendship with fellow resident Roland, like whatever said, strange occurrences and nightmarish visions convince Judith that a sinister presence is haunting the historic estate. As patients begin to die mysteriously, Judith's frantic warnings are diminished as pure fantasy. Even her devoted grandson, Josh, thinks her fears are the result of dementia, not demons. With no one willing to believe her, Judith must either escape the confines of the manor or fall victim to the evil that dwells within it. There's another and there's another one here. We got South of Heaven. This is a convicted felon, Jimmy, gets early parole after serving 12 years of armed robbery. Upon his release, he vows to give Annie, his childhood love, now dying of cancer, the best last year of her life. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. God, October's full of fucking great.
well, this one sounds fun. It's Jason Sudeikis on it, so I'll watch Sudeikis on a drama movie. I'll give it a shot.
Might be okay.
Should be good, all right, so let's move to the next one. There's a movie that everyone has seen a lot of, and it's called Venom. Did you guys see the first Venom movie or no?
I did.
I
It
did
was.
not.
It wasn't that good.
I don't understand Venom as a character. It's really weird, right?
The performance by Tom Hardy was good. It wasn't, cookie cutter mainstream for Marvel, and I think that's due to why it wasn't popular. The
Did you ever
story
read the
was
comic
not
book or no?
quite there. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So I think it was on point with the actual character. Okay. With it kind of consuming it like almost like a virus, you know?
Well, it's like an alien, right?
Him
It's like
and
an alien
affecting his
symbiote.
brain, in that way.
So
Like-
this one goes not after just some news reporter that had also attacked Peter Parker. You have this one going after it's a much powerful being that is attached to a serial killer? Question mark? What the hell? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Carnage, I mean, was crazy because Venom never was one to spear people and shit like that. But Carnage, if you look at any of those pictures of Carnage, it was always him filleting people, you know. In which case, I think that's what this is gonna be. Yeah.
I'm interested to see. I'm a fan of Tom Hardy. The thing here that caught my attention is Woody Harrelson acting as Carnage in there. So
Yeah.
playing an evil guy, that might be interesting to watch again. Woody doing it, and Andy Serkis is doing the directing for that movie. The guy that did Golem, the actor,
Hey,
Andy
he's the
Serkis.
director. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
he's the director in there. Those are the things that caught my attention. I'm not big into the Marvel movies as well, but I'll watch it because of these things.
I might check it out.
Yeah, no, I mean, if Andy Serkis is doing the direction, then it's like gonna be mostly like how to do CGI the right way. Um, there's another movie that's coming out that a lot of people are talking about. It's called Halloween Kills, and it's minutes after Laurie Strode, her daughter Karen, and granddaughter Allison left masked monster Michael Myers caged and burning in Laurie's basement. Laurie is rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, believing she finally killed her lifelong tormentor. This is paragraphs, by the way. But when Michael manages to free himself from Laurie's trap, his ritual bloodbath resumes. As Laurie fights her pain and prepares to defend herself against him, she inspires all of Haddonfield to rise up against their unstoppable monster. Period. The Strode women join a group of other survivors of Michael's first rampage who decide to take matters into their own hands, forming a vigilante mob that sets out to hunt Michael down once and for all. Called Halloween Kills. How many Halloween sequels?
That's what I was gonna ask you. What's this installment? Is it Halloween 50? And this is Jamie Lee Curtis' second one with the crazy hair, like crazy
There's over like 10,
Catwoman.
right? There's got to be at least 10 of these things. You know that John Carpenter himself made Halloween 3 to be like, hey, this wasn't supposed to be about, some slasher killer. This is supposed to be like one of those anthologies. And he made Halloween 3, which I still think is the best Halloween of all time. Season of the Witch. There's not even any witches in it. It's just a bunch of Irish aliens. Irish alien robots. Halloween 3. Anyways, there's another one called The Last Duel. This is starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and Adam Driver.
Yeah, this will be cool.
Oh yeah.
You think so?
It's a medieval movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Jean de
Ridley
Carreau.
Scott. Direction.
Jean de Carreau. A Norman knight. All right, so I put some. So Jean de Carreau. A Norman knight returns from combat in Scotland to find his wife, Marguerite, accusing Jacques Legris, her husband's old friend and fellow courtier, of brutally raping her. The knight takes his cause before the teenage King Charles VI. I think that's very good.
It has a very good cast.
Yeah.
Obviously. Some of the famous ones because of Ridley's style, like the Gladiator, I'm expecting as well. One of his favorite, Damon, he used it in The Martian. So I love Adam Driver. He's a very surprisingly good actor.
Yeah, he is. I'm
He can. So we'll just have to see. I've heard good things.
All right, so I guess I should talk about this only because should definitely talk about like the kids movies a little bit. This one's called Monster Family 2, the sequel to Monster Family. Nobody is perfect, hasn't been rated yet. So to save the Loch Ness monster, King Konga, and the Yeti from the mysterious monster hunter, the Wishbone family must transform into spooky creatures themselves. Together as a vampire, mummy, werewolf, and Frankenstein, the family set off on a wild and monstrous adventure. Yeah, man. It's animated, so I don't know if you like that. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Have you heard of this one?
What?
Is it coming back?
Yeah, they made a remake.
Are you serious?
No pun intended, dead serious. Okay.
The
So
original wasn't even good.
1 year after the fatal car accident that haunted their graduation night, a group of teenagers find themselves bound together by a dark secret at the hands of a brutal killer who stalks their every move. They try to piece together who's after them. They reveal the dark side of their seemingly perfect town. Everyone is hiding for something, comma, and uncovering
Messed up.
wrong
Next.
could be
But
deadly.
isn't it a series? This is what I'm
No,
looking
no,
at.
you're thinking of Scream.
I Know What You
Scream
Did
was
Last Summer.
no,
Anywho,
no.
Yeah, that was that one with Jennifer Love Hewitt, like way back in the
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was
late
in
90s,
Ryan.
early 2000s, and it really sucked.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
And
SMG was in there too. Sarah Michelle Gellar. She
like
was
literally, Final Destination was better than that.
maybe. The next movie that we're going to talk about is a movie called Demigod. Now, I just think that this is really interesting, though. It's flying under the radar like crazy. Anyways, upon a sudden death of her estranged huntsman grandfather, and the news that he's left her all of his worldly possessions, a woman, Robin, and her husband travel back to her birthplace in Germany's Black Forest. Already plagued by terrifying visions of childhood memories she can't quite make sense of, Robin, nevertheless, remembers fondly her grandfather, Carl, German London, uh, uh, respectively. Uh, Deep connection to this natural world, the animals, and even the spirits of the ancient forests. Soon after arriving at her grandfather's secluded cabin, however, Robin realizes that the inheritance left her is far more macabre than she ever bargained for. She finds herself entrenched in an ancient hunting ritual that will force her to reckon with her family's past and her own will to overcome the most monstrous obstacles in her path. I thought that was a good one. It sounds great, right? Anyways, the next one is going to be the Velvet Underground. This is a check on the world's music. The Velvet Underground created a new sound that changed the world of music, cementing its place as one of rock's and roll's most revered bands. Directed by acclaimed filmmaker Todd Haynes, the Velvet Underground shows just how the group became culturally touchstone, representing a large range of contradictions. The band and both their time, yet timeless, literally in realistic, rooted in high art and street culture. The film features in depth interviews with the key players of that time, combined with a treasure trove of never before seen performances and a rich collection of recordings, Warhol films, and other experimental art that creates an immersive experience into what member John Cale describes as the band's creative ethos: how to be elegant and how to be brutal. The Velvet Underground. So
I'll watch this one. It's an Apple Films production. It's gonna be streaming also on Apple TV, but it's a documentary, and there's a lot of footage from the trailer that I see. I'm interesting to see whenever it's a documentary that they're using footage that it's never seen before. It's interesting.
what are you thinking, Nick? Are you a Velvet Underground fan?
I'm big on the Velvet Underground, and like I like their music, and it'd be interesting to see that documentary. You know,
All
I'd
right.
want,
Huh?
Yeah.
I figured like you wanting to watch a documentary, you would really love this.
Yeah.
There's another documentary. There's another documentary on here too. It's called Introducing Selma Blair. I don't know if you're aware of whom Selma Blair is.
Yeah.
She's she was in holy hell, what was she in? She was in Hellboy, right? She's in a lot of things. Whatever. Anyways, it's an intimate and powerful feature of one woman's journey of personal acceptance and resilience, which follows the singular actress as she reckons with the new chapter of her life after being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Film explores complex issues ranging from dissecting deep-rooted myths about beauty and the collective fear of disability and mortality. Complete with her trademark wit and humor, the documentary follows Blair as she reconciles a journey of monumental transition. I thought that might be kind of cool.
I mean, you know, like, I'm not too interested in Selma Blair. Not to say it wouldn't be good.
Like you wouldn't be into that?
I might watch it, but you know, probably a lot. There's a lot of other. There's that documentary Icarus I haven't seen that came out a while back. It's supposed to be really good.
It is good.
What's Icarus?
Icarus it was about the Russian program of doping, and there's this guy that entered on himself to see if he could do it and how it was supposed to be done. So it's interesting. That was from a while ago.
Yeah. So there's things that like have released a while back that I still haven't seen, like, and but it could be interesting the Selma Blair documentary, you know.
Yeah, it's a very sad story to be heard about her illness and the disease, how cruel it is. And from she was, I mean, on being the pretty girl on that movie to become someone that is struggling with her life.
It was Cruel Intentions, where she made that with Sarah Michelle Gellar, right? SMG, which is in which case they're like making a whole movie like I Know What You Did That Last Summer. She was just like there, you know. It's like, what is that tie-in? Like it's like,
Yeah.
Anyways, I'd love to make out with Buffy. All right, so I'm not even gay. Anyways, all right, so coming out Friday, October 22nd, Dune. Have you guys heard about this movie or not?
I'm pumped.
I could talk for hours about Dune, but I'm not going to. But I'll just give you the broad. So, all right, a mythic and emotionally charged hero's journey, quote unquote, Dune, tells the story of Paul Atreides, a brilliant and gifted young man born into a great dynasty beyond his understanding, who must travel to the most dangerous planet in the universe to ensure the future of his family and his people. As malevolent forces explode into conflict over the planet's exclusive supply of the most precious resource in essence, spice, a commodity capable of unlocking humans' greatest potential, only those who can conquer their fear will survive.
Kyber, no.
Best thing about this.
Different sci-fi.
I'm gonna watch it.
Denis Villeneuve obviously on board for the directing of this. I'll watch it.
That's
I'm not
Timothy
sure.
Chalamet, right?
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet as the hero journey,
that
and
kid's fucking
I don't
dead.
know.
Hey, it could be cool.
You got Javier Bardem's in it too, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Oscar
cast.
Isaac, Josh
The
Brolin.
cast is
Oscar Isaac, right?
Yeah, the cast is amazing.
Yeah.
Who's the Aquaman's in there too?
Oh, Jason Momoa, Aquaman. But yeah, Josh Brolin is in it. Javier Bardem, Dave Bautista. So there's
Oh, Batista's in there too. No
Yes.
shit. I forgot about that.
yes.
Like, it's gonna be worth watching.
Do you think so? You gotta
Yeah.
watch it?
Yeah.
I don't know how long is it. The problem with these type of movies that had that,
Like, they haven't done an adaptation of Dune
Gotta be
since
at least 2
fucking David
hours.
Lynch in
Maybe
the
maybe
80s.
maybe 2:15, I think.
2 hours and 35 minutes. I thought so.
What?
It's gonna be long.
Hey,
Well, what
if
they
it's
said
done
too about
properly,
this
like,
movie,
you
yeah.
mean you can't spend 2.5 hours on a couch?
I don't know.
I don't know. I give myself 5 minutes. But here's the other part: is that when you have like a movie like this is a lot like Doctor Sleep, where it might like be a sleeper, no pun intended, but where it's a really good movie where it ties the novel together with the movie that nobody was watching. You know, in which case like you have when you were watching Doctor Sleep, say for instance, and and you read the book, it was all about like more of a transition from the book. You watch The Shining, the movie, and I have a place where I'm going. Well, you watch The Shining, the movie, you watch Doctor Sleep, it's like they're tying the books together. This one is going to be one of those ones where they tie the book together with it because um, David Lynch didn't do that. Like he went for his own idea of what Dune would be.
Was it
Is it
with?
his?
It was
Well,
with the Sting, right? That movie in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
With
Yeah,
Colin
that's what
I
I'm
Farrell.
saying.
remember. I remember that one.
There
Yeah.
hasn't been an adaptation since that. And that adaptation,
People
I
just
think,
stole
came
those stand-ins, by the way.
in 83, if I'm not mistaken.
But I mean, like that's one of those things too, is that like David Lynch took a lot of liberties with that movie. This one, I think they're trying to say to everybody, like, there is a book that is really amazing. Like it would be like if someone remade Starship Troopers or some shit like that, which guys like you see a lot more about. Anyways, I think this one's gonna be really
I
good.
don't see this as a remake like, of having anything to do with the David Lynch movie.
Well,
Personally.
he's trying to tie the two together. Anyways, so this one's the one that we were talking about, Nikki. Uh, I know that this is the one that you're the most excited about. It's called The French Dispatch.
Fuck yeah. Wes Anderson
Wes
coming out.
Anderson. Yep.
Hell yeah. That's going to be cool.
This is a love letter to journalists set in an outpost of an American newspaper in a fictional 20th century French city and brings to life a collection of stories published in the French Dispatch magazine.
And Wes Anderson doing Wes Anderson movies says, "I am Wes Anderson, so I'm having Timothy
Hey, Timothy
Chalamet,
Chalamet's
Adrian
in this one too,
Brody,
so
Bill Murray,
like,
Owen
how do you get
Wilson,
two in one month?
Frances McDormand." It's like, here, who do you want to watch? Edward
Like you could
Norton.
literally go see Timothy Chalamet at one movie, or just kind of crisscross over there to the other movie theater and watch the French Dispatch, and you'd be like, "Ha, that's wild."
Some of
Right?
the great things that I love about Wes Anderson are those insanely centered shots that he gets of those moving pieces in black and white. It's full of those. So
He's,
yes.
like there's that old Norm Macdonald joke, right? Where it's like that man is a genius, and then he'd be like, "Why? Is he good at math or something?" But Wes Anderson is a genius, like with photography, man. Like how he artistically, it's like an artist.
The collars on the costume, the centerpiece of, I mean, all of those almost beige type of
Composition is
scenery.
It's taupe. It's soothing.
It is it is it is a mind freak whenever you see all of those uh, even with the OCD that he has on everything perfectly aligned, and it's just amazing to watch.
Like it's like a tunnel, right? It's like oh jeez. I think they used to do that with a lot of 35 millimeter film, whatever that was, where it's like, oh, it looks like this. What was that one movie that came out? Mom, what's that one movie? The Video Nasty movie, where it was like it just kept like growing, and it's like, oh, well, we're watching this woman dissolve into her own fantasy, and like which guys it was like that. Like, I can't remember the name of it. Whatever. Anyways, moving on.
Amazing cast, amazing cast.
I think Dune's gonna be amazing too. But that's just French Dispatch is probably, I don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute. Because we'll all give our picks, right? All right. Anyways, this one's called Ron's Gone Wrong.
Huh?
This is the story of Barney. It's a comedy adventure animation. It's for the kids. The story of Barney, a socially awkward middle schooler, and Ron, his new walking, talking, digitally connected device, in which case is supposed to be his best friend in the box. Ron's hilarious malfunctions set against the backdrop of a social media age launch them into the action-packed journey in which boy and robot come to terms with the wonderful messiness of true friendship. Well, I mean,
the voice actors are interesting. Zach Galifianakis for the Ron's voice.
Zach Galifianakis. I was one of it.
Olivia Colman is one of my favorite actresses from lately. She's also in there. Ed Helm. So it has those three interesting names, but still, I'm not sure.
No?
You watch it and you tell me.
I don't know. Like, everyone kept saying the Lego movie was gonna be shit, and I was like, oh man, that was fucking one of the coolest movies I ever saw. But like we'll see. All right, so what's the next one? Oh my god! All right, we need to talk about this, by the way. So there's this movie called Antlers. Now it's getting closer to Halloween, so you gotta kind of like Anyways, Carrie Russell, I think it was Felicity, right? It's a small town Oregon teacher, and her brother Jesse Plemons, also in this movie, a local sheriff, become entwined with a young student harboring a dangerous secret with frightening consequences. And then we have this one, which case, if you have not seen trailers for this, you should. You ever get into the Queen's Gambit?
Yeah.
The chick from that, Anya Taylor-Joy, right? So Last Night in Soho. And this is by Edgar Wright, who did, what was it? Like, he did Hot Buzz, right? And Shaun of the Dead, right? Am I wrong? And then he also did Baby Driver. Anyways, this is his new movie. And it's a psychological thriller about a young girl, passionate in fashion design, who is mysteriously able to enter the 1960s, where she encounters her idol, a dazzling wannabe singer. But 1960s London is not what it appears to be, and time seems to fall apart with shady consequences.
Interesting to see that he's doing. I saw the trailer. It's interesting to see him doing drama and horror. I mean, because he's coming from Scott Pilgrim and Shaun of the Dead, all of those movies.
Nick, what do you think?
Might be interesting. I like his direction style.
Did you ever see Baby Driver? I watched that the other day. It's actually really good.
It is good.
I watched it. You know, it's okay. It was okay. You know, like
It's entertaining. I like the sound, the songs in it. I like the music, obviously.
yeah, you know, it could be worth it. Like worth to watch. It's nothing like out of this world, but maybe Driver. But it's definitely like Edgar has, you know, good editing and good, you know, general.
Nick, you should go away and start talking about movies like that because it's like the voice of God
I'll tell you this
telling
right now, man.
telling
Like
us
we
what to
we
watch.
got like the best crew. Like because like we're like I'm like I just told you about all these movies and you're like none of these entertain me. Fuck them all.
No,
I'm like
no, no, no. We
no
can
no.
review the
Well,
list.
well, we haven't done the list yet, but that is the end of the list though
All right.
for the movies for October. That is the end of the list for the movies for October that we need to talk about. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some other ones, but like whatever, like we'll do our own thing. I'll do my own thing, blah blah blah. Like how, but these are the movies that are coming out, which is important. Which is why we do this. So, uh, let's start with you, Pepe. Which one of those movies sounds the best to you?
Obviously, number one, The French Dispatched. I'll watch it. Number one. I've loved every Wes Anderson, and those are the movies that are remote control dropping. Something is in it from him. I just drop the remote and watch it. Dune, of course. It's the other one that I for surely be watching. I'm interesting to see the documentary The Velvet Underground, of
Yes.
course. And I'll give it to you. I'll watch Bingo Hell.
Well, what about the last duel?
Are you psychic? Right.
The
There.
Last Duel,
Ridley Scott, come on.
I know, but it's. I mean, it should be there. I know my wife is gonna make me watch it, so I'm gonna watch it because of the people that are on the movie. But
Like, I'm gonna watch that shit for sure.
All right.
that's
Hey,
my
Nick,
my four,
what's your
five.
what's your beat? What's your bestest?
Again, I'll take French Dispatch, the documentary about Velvet Underground, uh, Dune, Last Duel. Those
Right
are
on.
what I'm taking.
Evan.
Those are gonna be good.
Well, I'm gonna like throw like a monkey wrench into this only because I've seen so many trailers for it and it's anthropomorphic. It's the Lamb movie.
Oh, that looks weird, man. I don't know if
Yeah,
I
it's
would.
weird as shit, right? I was
Looks
like, this is
weird.
kind
A lamb
that
standing
would be
up and
perfect.
kissing the woman. I don't know.
I think that the woman has sex with a lamb, and then there's a lamb person. Yeah, I don't know. Seems really weird. Last Duel seems really cool too. By the way, into it, totally into it. I think that's
Cool.
gonna be really awesome. Even though Nikki hates Adam Driver,
No, I don't.
I'm gonna watch a lot of these.
Heresy, heresy.
I don't hate him. I just, I think he's done good jobs and bad jobs, and
Hey,
I haven't seen him in too much. So, you know,
well, if you're
Oh,
talking
I
about
I
Star
will
Wars, I
watch the
agree with
documentary
you.
on the Velvet
yeah.
Underground and Selma Blair. By the way, I
But
will.
Patterson, have you seen Patterson?
I didn't like that movie. And I
Well,
and
the
like
movie not,
Jim
but
Jarmusch.
him, he's good
Like
in that one.
he did portray it good. His performance was good. It wasn't his fault the movie sucked.
That's my point. I watch it and they say the movie's not that good, but he in it brings the best out of him.
It was
Robert
okay.
Pattinson.
And I don't mind Jim Jarmusch. Like he's done some good films, but that one sucked.
And I'm definitely gonna see Dune, obviously, because it's possibly I have high hopes for it, but whenever you build your hopes up like so high, like you're like, and then just like you're like, I had all these hopes and it just sucked. Like, I think that's what's gonna happen with us. The
Usually
French.
that's what happens whenever you're recommending me a movie. Like, oh,
That
Evan told me, and then oh,
that's what
Well,
happened
either way,
with the card counter for me.
I regretfully agree with all of you guys. I think the French Dispatch is gonna be the best one out of all.
Yeah, but I am still pumped about like the last duel, and I am still like hopeful that Dune will be a good picture.
I mean, oh jeez, like I may have to recant, like when we finally see Dune, and it's like fucking amazing. I'll be like, I told you, and you'd be like, yeah, no, but we all knew that fucking French Dispatch was gonna be the best one.
Yeah.
But what? I mean, it's two different stories though. I mean, like the month of October is so weird because like you have all these horror movies that are coming out, and then like a Wes Anderson film out of nowhere. Kind of wild.
Well, not out of nowhere. Like, he's kind of been working on it for a while. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of those things too. I think like they filmed it like a couple of years ago, and then he's just been editing it
yeah.
and editing it and editing it and then editing it and then editing it and then editing it. Julia's calling. So on our next episode, we're going to have a friend called Julia. She's a wild person who is going to be able to temper all these terrible movies that I love with the people who are actually smarter and better tasteful than I am. Anyways, what are you guys doing?
Oh, nothing.
I
Oh,
think I'll be editing and editing and editing somebody that is adding movies to a list that it was not there.
wait, no, I gave you the list.
Yeah. Like a whole bunch of unneeded stuff. That
Well,
no
I mean,
watch.
you guys need any shout outs or no?
No.
Nikki, what's your shout out?
What?
What's your shout out?
I gave my shout outs of this list. I gave my that are gonna be good, and I gave you my opinion on some things that I think are not gonna be good. And some of the things that I say that might be good might end up being bad.
What?
But definitely what I say like is bad, it's gonna stay bad.
There you go. All right. That's an affirmative there, I guess, right?
For a
Nikki
minute.
seal of approval. Yep.
Oh, you slapped that on there. You did it last time. You gotta do that. It's like all the ones that I said were gonna be bad, they're bad.
Of course.
But
That's
the
why
ones that turn out to be good,
No.
in which case you're gonna say the new Wes Anderson movie, French Dispatch. That's your seal of approval.
No, I mean, like, I can't say how good it's gonna be. Like, I'm interested in seeing it. I personally, I like the possibility of of the career of Timothy. Like, I think he's gonna do some interesting stuff. He doesn't seem scared.
Dune
Like,
movie.
yeah, like,
Oh, that's right.
he's trying different stuff. Like, I think that's cool. Um, so, and I've enjoyed, like, I've, enjoyed what I've seen by him so far. Okay. I've enjoyed Ridley Scott in the past, so I'm willing to like just go on the limb and just watch his new picture.
What was
Uh,
that movie? He was actually in Doctor Sleep, I think, right? Yeah. Oh.
what?
Like he was in there for like a scene. I might
I
be
don't
wrong.
remember.
He's like the baseball kid that they picked up and sucked the life out of. I might be wrong about that. Some weirdo's gonna tell me. Anyways,
My
Mayday.
shout out, it's the month of October. I think this is a list that
October,
has
baby.
has better movies from the. I mean, I've been invited to this prestigious show, not for quite some long time, but I think from this list is the one, and shout out to the month of October, that has some of the best movies that we have seen in the past 2 or 3 months. At least
Yeah.
we have 3 or 4 that are coming out that we are interested to watch.
I mean, there'll be some that are. I think it's gonna be curious to watch some of the pictures that are coming out here.
Really? You're not gonna watch any of the fucking movies I talk about?
I told you, bingo hell.
No, I'm talking to Nikki.
Oh well,
Nikki's
of
not gonna
course.
watch any of this.
He's
Why
not. He's not wasting any neurons on your
Like, why?
things.
Why
All the
would
Blumhouse, welcome to Blumhouse movies, I'm gonna watch. You know that, right? Like, every single time one of them comes out, I'm gonna be like, bingo hell.
like
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because it reminds me of what was that one Bruce Campbell movie? Shit, Bubba Hotep, where it's just like he's like an Elvis impersonator. Whatever. And he's like dying, and he keeps claiming that he is Elvis. Holy hell, that's gotta be what this movie's about. Anyways, yeah, so bingo hell. But we all agree that French Dispatch is that one's gonna be the alpha this month, huh?
yeah. Well, I mean, for there's quite a few like films, and actually, it's kind of peculiar that these three big pictures, okay, Dune, French Dispatch, and also The Last Duel, with all three big directors decide to go head to head in the box office on this month.
Yep.
They're all
As
coming out on the
opposed
same
to
week. I think. Well,
spreading
I
them out.
so the last duel comes out right before that.
As opposed to spreading it out, like, it's peculiar. It's
October.
curious.
October.
Why would it be? Is it jumping after season? No, it's in time for the award season. I mean, I don't know why, but it's
I think
interesting
the
now that you
award,
mention it.
like this is around the time that the
I mean, I
nominations.
know why.
Because it's gotta be
Ridley
like
Scott
December.
won't
Yeah.
move his movie because he's got another one in November.
Hmm.
Okay, but there's no reason the other ones wouldn't want to move it so that it's not like they're not going like competing so much like for cash.
Well, I mean, like, what the fuck is the Academy Awards anyway? I mean, it's just like a sympathy vote, right?
It's an award
Yeah.
ceremony.
Like, I mean, like, what if I made like the baddest ass movie and I was like, all right, cool. You got like it's a reconstruction of a video game, and I'm pumping all this money into it, and we've done everything right, and it's gonna be the baddest ass movie of all time. And then someone's like, yeah, but in this movie, I feed a retard. You're like, oh Jesus. Like, oh well, gotta give it to that guy. I'm like, can't give it to the sci-fi film.
Yeah, but it's no. All we're saying is that it's peculiar about this going like, they could have easily pushed it like further, and
I
even
said
the
retard, but
Christmas,
I meant mongoloid.
on the
Okay.
Christmas vacation weeks, whatever,
Yeah.
and held on to it. Like, but
Like,
hey, but it's cool. Like, I don't want to wait until Christmas.
No, I agree. Bring me
hell
some.
yeah.
Bring me some good movies to watch.
Are you guys excited for the November movies? Because I'm hoping that there is going to be a movie that exemplifies Thanksgiving, and none have done it except for Thanksgiving, where I think a turkey has sex with a woman, and then she.
No, but I'm excited about House of Gucci in November.
Yeah, House of Gucci is coming in November.
Which one's that? Is that the one with Lady Gaga?
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean that's the
I
Ridley
think Lady
Scott
Gaga is probably the most beautiful woman in the entire world. Sorry.
Allegedly.
I mean, like, she's just like that
She
nose.
she's
Yeah.
very talented and she's very pretty. But
I don't know. She's a weak actress so far.
Weak. Like, what was the one movie that she did?
She's a weak actress
Award.
so
She won an
far.
Academy Award.
What?
She won an Academy Award, or she was
Dude,
nominated.
weren't
Give a
you
shit.
bashing the Academy Awards a minute
That,
ago?
yeah, that movie,
Yeah.
first of all, sucked.
The Academy Award. Okay.
Okay.
What?
I don't
What's his
I
name?
don't know who the fuck Bradley Cooper's balls
Oh.
he licked. Okay, to get that Academy Award for that movie, but that movie was so fucking bad. Okay, like I cannot exemplify how fucking bad it. Okay, and you know, Lady Gaga's acting was just awful, just awful.
Shout out Lady Gaga. If you're watching us, I don't feel like Nick does. I think
No,
you're
no, no,
beautiful.
no.
You're an
I don't either.
amazing
I don't
singer.
either. Hey, Lady Gaga.
Goo goo
You know,
Gaga.
still a fan, and I love your nose. uh, anyways, let's for your nose.
Whatever.
It's like
Okay. So the acting in Star Wars
Whatever.
weak as fuck.
she'll never hear this. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Anyways, all right. So, we're doing our sign offs.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we want to thank everyone for listening to us and listening to our odd behavior. And I hope that if you see any of these movies during the month of October, or you are even planning on seeing any of these movies, please drop us a comment, a like, talk to us, and let us know like which movies that we should be seeing, and in which case we will. And we will take it all into consideration. And thank you so much, you guys, and thanks for the supporters. And you guys keep being you. This is great. All right, peace from Villainous.
Adios.
Later.